for children to suffer.
I have headache, belly ache, and fever.
There was a time when he was so sick, even I didn't know he would make it.
He was at the age of 4 and he could not walk in, he went down so small that I thought he would die.
He came down to skin and bone. All you could see was a big head. The doctors work on him until eventually he's up and moving again.
For the first time I heard about Katya. It was when I was in the rehabilitation center. Katya was a drug addict and I was a drug addict.
Some time had passed and I was taken to the Christian Rehabilitation Center. I looked like that when I came to the rehab center. There I heard about God.
When she came to the center, she was sick and she had a serious infection in her leg.
On my legs you can see bruises and traces of injections, because when you use drugs for a long time, your hands and legs become rotten.
The doctors were going to cut her legs off.
And I heard not just that God exists, but I saw His actions personally to me.
But we prayed a lot, and by God's miracle, she was healed.
I received Christ in my heart. I saw His love and received it like a child, and my life was totally, fully changed.
With real faith, a person can change. Katya's a good example of that.
But when I came from the Christian Rehabilitation Center, my mother did not understand me. My mother was always afraid that I would start using drugs again, and that's why she was always negative to me and criticizing. And I even understood that I was afraid of her.
Christopher called us that the nurse told him that the HIV positive. And when he told us, my wife, we were all in tears.
Naturally, I couldn't sleep that night, but I just have to sing the song, "It is well with my soul." I just keep singing that song.
And it was in this transfer cell that I remember one night just kind of reflecting and just being really at the bottom of my rope, really wondering, why do I need to even continue on? What hope do I even have in the future? If I even ever get out of prison, I'm going to have this felony over my head wherever I go. I'm also going to, live with this virus. There's no cure, and just wondering if I'm even going to survive this sentence. And so I laid in my bunk, reflecting on this, and then I looked up and I noticed, just some scribbling on the bunk above me, and it said, "If you're bored, read Jeremiah 29:11." And so I got up and I was like, I need to find out what this verse is. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a future and a hope." As I turned through those pages and I read those words, it was really I knew that God was speaking directly to me that moment. Because in my the darkest part of my life, when I really had no more hope, God spoke to me. God was telling me that regardless of what you had done before in the past, regardless of who you were, that I still have a plan for you. And that plan is going to give you a future and a hope.
He is the modern-day prodigal son.
For many people, going to prison or getting HIV would be their worst nightmare. But it took prison to get through to my hard head.
When the sickness attacked me, they tell me I have a TB, a W ammonia. I spit the blood. on my mouth. And I don't want to die here now. I'm asking myself, where now? To whom must I cry now? And I can't go to my family sick, HIV, because I know they will not take care of me. And the Lord provided me some people like Hans and Ruth.
We were working in the Paardeberg prison, which was the prison where we started doing our prison ministry some years back. And he came in and joined the group that we were doing Bible studies with.
He was such a quiet little fellow that he became part of this group almost without us noticing.
But of course, little did we realize that he was going to impact our lives the way he ultimately did.
I started loving them. I was connected with them like my parents. And at the same time, I said, Lord, today I will call you as you have told me that I must call you, you will answer me. And I call you now, Lord. Change only my life. And at that time, I accepted the Lord.
He is so anxious for other people to know that there is hope beyond HIV.
So he's really an example of hope that someone can have despite their HIV status and despite being in a prison.
My Christianity must not stay at the prison. I want to go with it outside and spread it outside so that those people must see that I was not a liar when I was talking that they must accept the Lord Jesus Christ.
Prison culture is very strange. Although one dislikes the noise in the prison, there is a type of a security.
And if you ask inmates, what do you fear most? They'll always say the day I'm released.
And I think once he comes out, he's going to find it quite difficult